So I'm here at the Garage Gallery, where we see a lot of people coming in here for the Berners Meet and Greet. And Mitchell Schwartz is about to speak, and he is my candidate for mayor. I love Eric Garcetti. He's a great guy, but let's face it, he's completely ineffective as a mayor. He hasn't done anything. I mean, his big claim to fame is cleaning up the LA River, the Great Streets program, so restaurants can put like chairs and tables outside and have pedestrian streets. What's his other thing? Making government transparent, putting everything on the internet. These are not big things. These are not big things. I mean, he's not challenging the DWP like he said he would. He's not pushing the DWP towards 100% green energy, which is what Mitchell Schwartz wants to do.
So I was on Bernie Sanders' advisory council for California. I joined him pretty early on. People would say to me, well, is there any connection between your national support for Bernie and issues in Los Angeles? One's national issues and one's local issues. And to me, yeah, there are several, and I'll just go over them very quickly with you. One is the lack of affordable housing. This city went from an inexpensive place to live 10, 15, 20 years ago to the most expensive place in the country. We spend more of our income on housing than any other place. It's having the effect of pushing people out, pushing working families out, people of color, middle-class people. I grew up in New York, and I saw this happening in Manhattan. I saw it happen in San Francisco. I love visiting those places, but those places are now rich and old, young and poor. No middle class. It's hollowed out. To me, a great cities are with all different types of people, not just races and ethnicities, but also income levels should be able to live. And now it's quickly not becoming that. You know, there's a lot of things we could do about it. There's a gentleman here who I don't see who is always talking about a Los Angeles infrastructure bank. You know, there's a place that's a liberal enclave called North Dakota. They have a North Dakota infrastructure bank. Democrats and Republicans love it, because instead of profits going to these big banks and stuff, it's plowed back into the state. So we could do stuff like that in the city. On the environment, less than 1% of houses in Los Angeles have solar power. We're 15th in per capita solar installation. We own our Department of Water and Power, yet we're at 30% renewable. They're studying trying to get there by 2035. We can get there, not easily. I don't want to pretend it's easy, but I do have a plan on my website to get there by 2025. Yeah. 96 other cities in America are already 100% green. We could definitely, including, of course, Burlington, where I first met Bernie when he was mayor back in 1983 or something like that. Sanctuary cities. Our mayor won't call it a sanctuary city, Los Angeles. He says we're a city of sanctuary, every other thing. And I understand why he's saying that, I think. It's an intellectual argument saying that to President Trump, if we say we're not a sanctuary city, maybe he leaves us alone. That's not how you deal with a bully. You gotta stand up, be very strong. We are a sanctuary city, period. Law enforcement, public safety. Crime has gone up in the city, and it's nowhere near, of course, the record levels that it was in the 80s and 90s, but it is gone up, and it's a serious issue. But also what's serious is police brutality. In the last several years, I'm not sure if it's since 2010 or a little bit later, there have been roughly 1,300 complaints about police malfeasance or acting wrong. 1,300. How many of those do you think came out against the police when they did it? How many of those? Zero. Are you telling me that 1,300 complaints is not one legitimate one? The mayor appoints the police chief. He appoints the police commission. It's the #1 job of the mayor is public safety. It's where most of our budget goes. Of course the mayor should do more than half, 62%. So the mayor should be doing this. 1,300 complaints. There's not one conviction. Come on, that's much to me. Lastly, and one of the top reasons that I supported Bernie Sanders, well, there are a lot of them, campaign finance. I've seen. Again, I'm 56 years old, and I've seen how money is more and more taken over the process. When I first started working in politics in 83 and 84, it was always big, fundraising. Then Citizens United blew a hole through it, and now it's gonna destroy our democracy if we don't do something about it. So in this city, we have a pretty decent campaign finance program. It imposes limits on the campaign and different things. Unfortunately, Mayor Garcetti, who helped set up the campaign finance program, decided it's not going to help him to whatever he wants to do. So he said he's not going to abide by the limits. He's raising unlimited money all over the country, and also is not doing the debates and forums that you're supposed to do if you're part of campaign finance reform. Of course, I've taken part in the campaign finance program, always will, have showed up to a bunch of debates and forums, but on top of it, decided not to take political money from PACs or developers, because you have to get rid of this, you have to get rid of the influence of money in politics. I've worked in a lot of campaigns, but the Bernie Sanders one was, in a way, the most inspirational. The other one, I worked for Barack Obama and ran his campaign in 2007-8, and that was a historical one and amazing. But the Bernie one was different. I've never seen a campaign with the amount of volunteers from all different types coming together, working on their own. I don't think there was an official office set up here until 2 months beforehand. But it was so encouraging. When I went with Bernie, it was pretty early, and I just thought, you know what, I'm going to follow my conscience. He's going to get killed by the Hillary machine, but it's okay. You know, he's going to bring up issues, hopefully. But then to see how good he did, I know he didn't win, obviously. We came up short. But the fact that he came so close with all the odds stacked against him, and with all the young people on his side, this is the future. I'm positive things. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you.